Hey guys, welcome back to my channel for an all new episode recap of today's Daysofourlives, February 2, 2026. We're in a new month, so let's get into the first episode of the month. So I would say it's a 10 out of 10 episode. A lot of interesting scenes, reactions between characters that we've never seen before. So let's get into it as well. So Gabby and Rafe are talking briefly about Harvey, and it seems as if their uncle is on full speed to recovery. And Harvey is still torn up about Leo, and he told them to inform Leo later on. Now Rafe is on his way to Alemania, but he has to tie up some loose ends in Salem first, and he promises Gabby that he will definitely find out what's going on with Stefan. And she said, she really wants to hear what's happening to him, because regardless that they have been over, she still cares about him. She still reminisces about their last romantic encounter together, and even though she's moved on, she still wants to know that he's okay, right? He's too young to die. So he promises her that, he will do his best to make sure that, he provides some closure for her. Theo is also back home from the hospital, and he's bonding with his dad, and his dad tells him about what happened to Stefano, and he definitely is sad about it because he has very fond memories of his grandfather. Despite what he did to other people, he bonded really well with him, and he never treated him any less because of his condition, his disability. And he will definitely miss him because he was the last connection to him that reminded him of his mom. Now Abe understands, and Abe is just providing comfort to him, and Abe understands how important his grandfather was to him. At some point he said, let's have a day where we just watch old videos, look at old photos of your mom and back in the day, and also visit the house, and he agreed to it. At some point Gabby does come to pay a visit to Theo, but it's not just to check in on him, and we'll get into that at some point. So it's nice that they actually put Liam with somebody else other than Abe. So we see him have a scene with Rafe, and Rafe is just wanting to ask him questions about what does he have to do with the Demira disappearance, because again they found some receipts linked to him. Now they're not interested in really capturing him. They want him to lead them to the big fish, the people who are really pulling the strings. So he ended up telling them that look, I was just paid. I was asked if I could, use some extra money. I was paid to just really move the sarcophagus out of the crypt, and some bones fell out, and I buried it. And I'm wondering, hopefully I did it some justice. Now he did tell Liam that they belong to Stefano Demira, so of course everybody know who Stefano Demira is. So he got scared, and he's wondering what the Demiras are going to do to him. So he's like, I wouldn't worry about that right now. I would worry about what Abe would think, given that you and him have sessions together. What's he gonna feel that you were involved with his son's kidnapping somehow, whether indirectly or directly? So he told him that, look, I was really just looking out for my son. His mother died years ago. I'm all he's got, and I was really just trying to make some extra money. It's really it's really hard. I'm struggling, and also if I even came forward to the police, I would either be dead, and my son can't take that right now. And I just didn't want to be arrested again. I've been through a lot already. And, Rafe understands about the situation with his son's mom, but at the same time, it's no excuse for what he has done. And he needs to go to the police station and provide, a sketch, or to describe the person who he was really working for, so that they can nail the person. If not, he will be arrested for his part in this whole crime. So we know that we're going to see them later on in the week in the promo that he does provide a description, but I wonder who it really looks like, because he did say the person had a scar on their right cheek, something like that. So who was really behind that? Kristen calls Brady over to basically tell him that, look, we need to pull Rachel out of Bayview, and now. So he's like, what is this about? So she said that she saw a note in Rachel's room from Sophia, so they're still communicating. And he said, have you talked to Dr. Gregory about it? So she said, no, I didn't mention it to her, because what is she really gonna do? Like, this place is very incompetent and we really need to act on this, fast. So he said that what else is there? Because she's saying that Dr. Gregory isn't really providing the right advice. She's telling Rachel how to confess in court, and also about us working together, or spending time together or whatever. So he said, oh, so this is really what this is about? So she said, come on now. So he said, Sarah told me what you said to her recently. So she said, what, did Sarah come running to tell you about our conversation? So he said, tell me what you actually said to her. So she said that, look, it's not my business what you guys do, but at the same time, if it's affecting my daughter's recovery and mental health, like, Rachel does not like the idea of you being with the woman who tried to kidnap her as a baby. So he said, look, I knew this was gonna come, and you can't dictate to me how to live my personal life. It's none of your business, and you can't try to come in between Sarah and me and all that. So she's like saying that at the end of the day, like, it's not about your relationship with her, it's just how her daughter is gonna feel, and we need to get her out of Bayview. And regardless, I still have physical legal custody over Rachel. So regardless, I'm just giving you the courtesy to tell you that, look, I'm taking her out of Bellevue, and whether or not you support me, I'm gonna let it happen. Now, I've been gracious to give you physical custody while I was locked up, but now that I'm not, I definitely am going to pursue this going forward. So he said, oh, unless I fight you in court again. So she said, really gonna bring that up again? So he said, I really don't want to stoop down to your level, but we need to come up with a better way of handling this thing. So anyway, she said to him that, I still want you to have physical custody of Rachel, because he was thinking that she was just going to move her back to the mansion. It's not really stable there. She's talking about stability. So she said, no, I actually moved out. I'm at Silliman. So he's like, come on now, you want to share a hotel room with your daughter? So she said, no, I want you to, have her. But you can't be at the Carrick's mansion. You have to find your own place. And of course, he's there groaning, because of course he wants to be near Sarah. And I'm saying, Grady, you can still be with Sarah, to all our dismay, and actually, go find your own place. You're a grown-ass man. You need to go find your own place so that Rachel can be comfortable. Even Sarah was saying it, Maggie, Marlena, like, you're a grown man. You can have your own place, not like you and Sarah married. You and Sarah barely even in a relationship. So, I don't see where Kristen is being wrong about this. So she said that's her terms, and, it's for Rachel's welfare. So he said, I know you're trying to bait me, but I do agree. I'm definitely going to look into this note situation, and I don't want Sophia to have an influence over her daughter, but we need to go and talk to Dr. Gregory together before talking to Rachel about this. So Kristen definitely agreed on that. But I'm just saying, he's groaning because Kristen is telling him to move out, get a place, so that Rachel can stay with him. I don't see how that's unreasonable, but anyways, moving on. So Abe is also out in the square because he went to get some food for Theo. He ended up running into Paulina. He tells Paulina about what the situation is with Liam, and that Liam may be behind Theo's kidnapping. And she was definitely not shocked, because she did have a bad feeling about the guy from the moment that Abe was tutoring him. Now she's just hoping that he's not the one really directly behind it, because if he is, she's gonna definitely use her power to make sure he pays for what he did to Theo. And also Abe was telling her about confirming the news to about Stefano actually being dead to Theo, and how Theo was taking it. And he was wondering if he should really talk to Theo about Stefano's involvement in his mom's death. So she said, no, just let him hold on to the positive qualities about his grandfather and his mom. Don't upset him with that. So he agreed to that. Now, JJ was there trailing Jeremy around just to see where he's going to, because he's still being suspected of doing all that crazy things to Stephanie and Alex. Now, he sees Gabby, or Gabby runs into him, and Gabby's like, JJ, are you meeting someone? Are you on a date? So he said, no, he's not doing anything like that. And she's like, I'm a big girl, I can handle it. And I'm saying, what is it to you, Gabby, what the man is doing? who the man is seeing, even if he's on a date or whatever. What is it to you? Like, why are you asking him all these questions? It's none of your business. You guys are not together. But anyways, he asks about her and Philip if everything is good because of what he heard Theo saying. Now, he didn't meant to say that. He blurted it out. And she's saying, like, what did Theo say? So he said, never mind, shouldn't have said anything. And she said, is Theo out? Is Theo good? So he said, yes. Now, she said, yeah, somewhere to go. So we know she was going to go over to confront Theo. So she did exactly that, went over to Theo's place unannounced, and Theo's like, you could have texted me. So she said, no, I didn't just come over here to see how you were doing. I needed to like find out what did you say to JJ about me and Philip. So he's acting like he doesn't know, and he said, I was heavily medicated and all of that. I don't remember what I said. So she said, let me remind you, I just saw JJ, and JJ said that you told him that me and Philip are not gonna last. So he said, oh, I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to say that. I should have kept my mouth closed. But she said, like, did you tell him the actual reason or the secret? So he said, no, I didn't say nothing like that. And best believe I would never tell anybody that. You have my word. You can trust me, and please forgive me. So she said, yes, I get that you're going through a lot, and I forgive you. And you're the most trustworthy person I really know. And yeah, they kissed and made up in the figurative sense. Now, earlier, Jeremy was there, just pacing around, and Julie told him that, look, you can't just, live your life behind four closed walls. Like, you need to get out, get some fresh air. You're innocent. You need to own that. So Jeremy took her advice, and he decides to go, pick up her order. And JJ was there, right behind. And Julie asked him, like, what are you up to? Are you trailing Jeremy? So he didn't answer, but Julie already know. So that was what JJ was doing, just tracking his every move. Now he came back and he saw Jeremy, and Jeremy's like, hey, you want to join us? And he said, okay, cool. So he can see something is up. So he asked JJ, like, I know you have something in your mind to say to me, like, what's up? Tell me. So he said, I know that, I heard about what was going on with you and Stephanie, all that, and I just want to level with you. And Jeremy's just saying, hey, I didn't have nothing to do with it. All of those malicious things I did not do. I know me and Stephanie have a past, but I promise you, I swear I didn't do it. But, of course, JJ is giving him the third degree. Julie comes in like Jeremy's lawyer at this point, defending him up and down that, look, you need to stop this because this is becoming uncomfortable, and I'm the owner of this place. Like, you, if you don't like it, you can go somewhere else. Like, you're not going to continue to harass Jeremy. And if Commissioner Hunter keeps doing that, I'm going to sue her and sue the whole PD for harassing him. And JJ saying, look, not because his family means that you need to be defending him like that. Look at what happened to Nick. And she said, like, that was a low blow. Like, again, if you don't like living on the same roof with Jeremy and I, and you're gonna make this uncomfortable, like, you can leave, right? And I'm saying, like, honestly, I'm with Julia on this defending Jeremy, because I do believe he did not do this. Otherwise, I remember the whole thing with her and Nick was definitely one of the worst Hortons because of what he did to Gabby. Like, Gabby did not deserve it. And the fact that Julie treats Gabby like trash, especially when she know that her cousin did all those horrible things to Gabby. Like, I would think she'd be a lot nicer to Gabby. But again, some things that don't change in terms of Hortons and Hortons. Everybody else can get like a slap on the wrist and everything, but poor Jeremy is going through it, and he didn't even do nothing. Now, EJ and Gwen, EJ is talking to Gwen about the fact that she brought Dimitri back, and it's just been chaos ever since. He doesn't know why she did it, to just really get back at Leo and all that, and it's just backfiring. So she said, would you just calm down? I have a plan. I spoke to Vivian, and Vivian doesn't like it. Von Lord says, I think we can work together to make sure that Dimitri goes down for the kidnappings, and so he can lock up, and so that I can get back my fortune. And he's like, you mean his fortune? So she said, it's still my fortune by marriage, and I'm entitled to it. And besides, if I don't get it back, our business with the lab can't go through. So she asked him, hey, can you represent me, because I want to beat Dimitri to it first so that I can hold on to my fortune. I need you to represent me. So he said, I can't do it because of the optics, because Dimitri is my nephew. So he said, okay, I guess we won't get the money to fund this thing. So he said, I'll find another lawyer to represent you and I'll guide from behind the scenes, but I can't really physically frontally do it. So he said, okay. Now they talk a little bit about the memorial service to Stefano, and go and ask him, hey, how are you feeling about it? I guess you guys got the bond while you were kidnapped, and he said it was good. I mean, we're not doing no camping trip for now, but it was good to reconnect, and it brought us closer. She said even Kristen said, no, we're kind of on the downs now. We have an up and down relationship. And she asked, why does Kristen hate you? So he got defensive and said, like, look, I'm not going to tell you, it's none of your business. And he's sorry for flipping out, but it's just a lot of stress on him with the lab, with his own work, and then bearing his father. It's a whole lot on his plate. And she asked him if he want to talk about it. He said he doesn't really want to talk about it because he doesn't really know how to sort out his feelings with his father. It's really complicated, that now his father is even mortal, that he would have survived everything, but yeah, it's really complicated feelings. Trying to remember something else. Yeah, I think that was really it for today's episode. He did threaten that anybody who was behind his family's kidnappings will definitely pay dearly. So yeah, that was it, guys. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to my channel. Comment below your thoughts on today's episode. I will see you guys tomorrow.